Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the midweek Flagler weather update. And we're looking at our satellite imagery of thunderstorms over Florida. And they're in the inland locations. And this is as of Wednesday, June 11th. So let's go ahead and talk about air quality real quick. It's looking really good in Flagler County. And the forecast for good air quality takes us right into Monday. So looking at the tropics, no issues in the tropics right now. We're looking really good there. And taking a look at the long-range outlook in the tropics, this takes us into early July. We're still looking at just a very minimal chance of development in the Bay of Campeche. Other than that, though, the Atlantic Basin is looking really, really good. So looking at the weather maps here, and we do have a front that's stalled to the north of us, high pressure, though it's not showing on a map. There's high pressure out here to the east, and that's going to keep a southeast wind flow through the rest of the week, and that actually drives the showers and storms inland, and that's going to stay with us. Everything's going to kind of stay status quo as we go into Friday. Matter of fact, that front to the north of us kind of fades away, and high pressure maintains control. So let's take a look at what's going to be happening here. Let's talk about precipitation first. So precipitation totals next 7 days. You can see there's a trend here that most of the heavier rain is going to be inland and lesser amounts at the beaches. So why is that? Because we have that onshore southeast wind flow, and that's going to drive most of the showers and storms inland. But I want to show you all something like next 24 hours, days 1 through 2. This takes us Wednesday to Saturday. And you notice that Wednesday to Saturday, and it's actually Wednesday to Sunday, we're still staying very dry over here on the beaches, but heavier amounts inland. That's why, we're still going to maintain that flow. But when we get towards the end of the week, you notice those rainfall amounts now start to creep up because the flow is going to begin as we get to when we get into the middle part of next week. That flow is starting to come back out of the south and southwest. We'll start seeing showers and storms returning to all areas of Flagler County. And taking a look at rain chances, you can kind of see that as well. A few examples for tomorrow. You can see pretty high rain chances, but higher chances inland, and that continues as we go into the rest of the week. We get into Saturday, still the highest rain chances inland, lesser chances at the coast. Further into the future, though, when we get into early next week, we're getting into Monday. You can see those rain chances start coming up now. County-wide. Still higher chances inland, but a little bit better chances as we go towards the coast as that flow begins to change, and that stays with us. Even though it looks like the rain chances are less overall, still pretty much even across the county when we get to Tuesday. So maybe some drier air getting into the picture perhaps. So looking at drought, we are still in severe drought on the north side of the county and moderate drought elsewhere. Looking at drought index, which is how moist the soil is, pretty good shape there. We're in the 200s. When you start getting above 500 is when you have problems. We're not anywhere near that. Looking at wildfire danger, there is no wildfire risk anywhere in the county right now. There are no areas being watched. So let's go ahead and bounce back here real quick. We're going to talk about temperatures real quick as well. And let's get back here. I almost forgot about this part. So we're looking at generally, as we go into the next couple days, we're still going to see highs, mid-80s coastal areas, upper 80s inland from the coast, and then lower 90s inland. But as we get into the end of the week, you can see that trend kind of stays with us. But as we get into the weekend, notice those temperatures now. Sunday, the 90s are coming all the way to the coast and into and approaching the beaches as that flow begins more southerly and begins to push those hotter temperatures back towards the coast. And as we get towards the first part of next week, you can see temperatures quite hot across the entire county. 90s even perhaps closing in on the beaches, generally upper 80s holding there. But by Tuesday, high temperatures maybe approaching the upper 90s at inland locations like Andalusia. We'll have to monitor that and see how that goes. So let's talk about the beaches real quick. We're looking at moderate rip current risk out there. Surf temperature 77 to 82 degrees. UV index very high. So that's going to wrap things up. We appreciate everyone joining us this evening, and everybody have a great rest of the week.